Hey everyone, Ryan here at eTrailer. Today on our 2022 Jeep Cherokee, we're going to be checking out the Demco Dominator Tow Bar. So the tow bar is going to be one of the 5 main components that you're going to need to set up your Cherokee to be flat towed. The other 4 are going to include your base plate, your safety cables, your tow bar wiring, and your supplemental braking system. And when it comes to tow bars, it's an important decision on what one to get, right? Because it's responsible for a lot of the work, being that physical link that connects the back of your motorhome to the front of your Jeep. You're going to want something that you can rely on, and something that pulls your vehicle good down the road, and it's going to be easy to use. And with the Dominator, it kind of checks all those boxes, to be honest with you. And with that said, there are a couple variations of this tow bar, and really the only difference is going to be the type of end that comes with it. So the one that we have here today comes with this type of end, and this one is going to be directly compatible with Blue Ox base plates as well as Kurt base plates like we have here today. So it just connects right to it. If you have another base plate and want this tow bar, you can check out the vast selection of adapter ends that will allow you to change this out to a different type and get them to pair together. One of the very first things that I noticed when I picked this tow bar up is the weight. It's really lightweight compared to a lot of the other types of tow bars out there. Just judging by muscle memory, I'd say probably close to half if I had to guess. So if you're someone who takes a tow bar in and out a lot or something like that, you're going to be handling it a lot, moving it around and stuff. That's where that lightweight feature, I guess you could say, definitely be beneficial. But just because it is lightweight doesn't mean it's not going to be heavy duty, because this is definitely one that's up there in terms of what it can handle. It has a 7,500 pound weight capacity, so more than enough for the Cherokee here. And I feel like that little bit higher capacity is also going to help, the Cherokee ride better behind your motorhome, absorbing some of the potholes and road shock and things like that. So that's one of the big things to look out for when selecting a tow bar is how is it going to track? Is your vehicle going to pull behind the motorhome? And with this one, it's pretty long, and generally speaking, the more distance you have between your coach and your vehicle, the better. It'll just help it ride true and track a little bit better, especially around tight turns. You're going through parking lots or gas stations, having that little bit of extra distance, it's really going to help give you, give you that room that you need for your Jeep to swing around and maneuver in those types of areas. As far as connecting the tow bar to your base plate, really simple process. You have a pin you pull out, pull that pin out. That's all there is to it. And do the opposite thing when you're ready to hook it all up. So really straightforward there, and being lightweight, a little easier on your back when you're bent over trying to line everything up. And one thing that I always recommend when it comes to picking out a tow bar, whether it be this one or a completely different one, is you're going to want one that has a non-binding feature, which this does. And what I mean by that, whenever you're flat towing and the arms lock into position, you get to where you're going, you try to disconnect, a lot of times what can happen is the connection point here can get in a bind. So you try to pull the pins out, and you can't, it's super tight, very difficult. If that were to happen with the non-binding type tow bars like our Dominator, all you're going to have to do is push the lever. There's one on each arm, you push that down, that'll release the tension and make it easy to get everything unhooked. The tow bar does come with a few extras, if you will. One of them being it's going to come included with your safety cables, which is nice. One less thing you're not going to have to worry about picking up separately. They're the right style and capacity and things like that. And over here, it's also going to have a cable management system, which is this rod that runs along through here. And you can use that for your electrical wiring, to run it through, kind of keep it in place, keep it tidy and everything like that. Which brings me kind of to my next point, if you're picking out a whole kit, right? You decide to go with this tow bar, even another one that has this same or similar cable management system, you're going to want an umbilical, the tow bar wiring cable here, to be coiled. That way you can properly utilize that feature. This does have a built-in high-low shank, so the way it sits now, you know, where your connection point is there from your hitch pin, it's going to lower that tow bar 1.5 inches, which in a lot of cases can be enough to prevent you from having to buy an additional high-low adapter, which is this piece here. We have kind of a special situation today with this coach. The hitch is way up here, and you know, we ended up having to use an additional one in conjunction with this, but I've seen it a lot, where a lot of times this will lower that point down just enough to keep your tow bar level to prevent you from having to buy an additional one. And to figure that out, it's pretty straightforward. You take your vehicle and your motorhome, get on level ground, about like this, how you'd have it set up, and you would want to measure from the center of the attachment point here on your base plate, measure the center of the hitch pin hole on your motorhome, and compare them. And you don't want the difference to be more than 3 inches, okay? And if it is more than 3 inches, you know, take into account the 1.5 inches that this will drop. If you're still out of that spec, that's where an additional high-low adapter would come. And we carry a ton of them here, from real short drops to big drops like we have here. So there's definitely going to be a solution if that's something that you do run into. You are able to store this on the back of your motorhome temporarily or permanently if you want to. And once you're unhooked, you can store it with both arms to one side, you know, on either side. So whatever works for you, or even put them like this. So totally up to you. However, I do recommend, if you are going to keep this back here, especially permanently, definitely not a bad idea to get a bag or a cover to put over it just to help protect your investment, as well as a locking type hitch pin. That way it'll stay secured to your RV. When it comes down to it, a nice tow bar. You know, it's extremely lightweight. Comes with some extras, has a lot of user-friendly features built into it to make it simple to hook up and disconnect and things like that, and just a good fit for the Cherokee. A lot of these Cherokees, the base plate attachments are really wide and spread out, and this tow bar is not going to be affected by that, as to where some of the other ones have limitations on how far they can go. So a pretty safe bet when it comes down to it. But with that said, that'll finish up our look at of the Demco Dominator Tow Bar on our 2022 Jeep Cherokee.